Uber and Lyft are a big game, and this morning I lost. I lost. So frustrating. Let me explain it to you. Right around 5:45, I dropped off a passenger, and when I looked at the map, there was a surge. There was one surge on the map about 10 minutes to the north at the Syracuse airport for $5. And so I said, I'm gonna go get that surge. Now this is 5:45 in the morning, and this is really important timing wise. Now Uber gave me like 3-4 pings in a row of $5 minimum trips. $5, 3 miles, give or take, and 15 minutes, and they're all the same. So after it kept giving me those pings, I just stopped for a second, and then I looked again at the map, and as I'm driving up the interstate, it said the surge is $25 now at the airport. So it goes from 5 to 25. And I'm like, whoa, okay, now we got something. And so I'm gonna get that surge. So right before 6 o'clock, I pull up to the airport, and there's still a $25 surge, and I gotta get through the airport to the Uber parking lot, and I'm racing to it. Can I get there? Racing in a legal way. I'm not a speeder, but whatever. So I pull in, and when I get to the airport lot, there's already a couple of cars there, and mind you, there's no flights coming in, so there should be no drivers there. So I assume they probably also got the surge, and then like 4, 5, 6 other cars come in, and we're all probably chasing that one $25 surge. And it's like, yes. I get into the airport waiting lot, I still have the $25 surge, and it says, boom, your next ride must be at the airport, but you get $25. And I'm like, yes. Now, typically what happens in this scenario for a little place like Syracuse is that Uber, because there's no flights coming in, Uber will say, oh, there's another ride right outside the airport. It's 5 minutes long. We'll give you the minimum fare. Plus, I get the $25 surge. So that little $5 ride becomes a $30 ride. Yes. And we're talking like, that's the biggest surge I've probably had in a year. Maybe ever. I mean, it's $25 is massive. And I'm like, yes, I got it. I got a $25 surge. And I need your help here. What would you do? I just started sitting there, and there were no rides coming in. None. And then here's the thing that was really disconcerting. I didn't get a single ride, yet the drivers that were in the lot with me started to slowly, one by one, drive away, drive away, drive away. 5 minutes pass, 10 minutes pass, 20 minutes pass. I'm like, what's going on? So the lot's emptying, and it sounds like they're getting rides, or at least I can see them leaving. And I'm sitting on a $25 surge, and finally there's like 2 drivers left in that lot, me and another guy. And so I just walk over to him, because he's right next to me. He's like 2 cars over, or 2 parking spaces over. And I'm like, dude, he rolls his window down. I'm like, are you sitting on a $25 surge? That's what I got. He's like, no, I don't even have a surge. I'm like, I wonder if I'm the only one that got that $25 surge. And all of a sudden his phone, he gets a ride. And he's out. So I'm there sitting in the airport lot by myself. And now remember, the last ride I had was 5:45 in the morning. And it wasn't until 6:28, almost a cool 45 minutes, I get my first ride. And it's a horrible ride. Horrible ride. Because now remember, it's got a $25 surge attached. So it's $49. So it's roughly a $25 fare to go 8 minutes away, to go all the way around the city to another stop, then to go all the way back up for basically, it's like an hour-long trip. Drop somebody off at the Amazon warehouse. The passenger rating is a 4.7. So I know I'm not going to get a tip. It's just a bad ride. Taking a worker to Amazon, sure sign you're not going to get a tip. Multiple stops, super long. And I was like, I would never take this trip. So the Amazon warehouse is on the northwest side of town. I got to get to the northeast side of town, roughly 15 minutes away, to do a reserved ride by 7:45. So I'd be arriving roughly at 7:30. I was like, it's going to cut it close. I might miss my reservation. And it was a good reservation. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And, now remember, it's a game. I got 7 seconds. I'm doing all these calculations in my head. I'm taking a screenshot for you guys so you can see this. I can make a really good story. And it expires. I didn't take it. I didn't hit accept. I didn't hit cancel or decline. I just didn't hit accept. And the next thing I'm alone in the airport lot now by myself. And there's the next ride comes in at $6.99. It's a 20-minute trip, kind of minimum fare. And that just, I lost the surge. And it's such a game. It's such a game. So I thought I'd do the math for you. There's 3 scenarios. Let's walk you through all 3 scenarios and see what you would have done. So option A is, instead of chasing that $5 surge, just take all those minimum fares up until my reservation. And I kind of did the math here. It's roughly 8 trips. I could have done from 5:45 till about 7:30. I would have made roughly $52 in revenue. That includes the fares, the EV bonus, because I'm working on the EV bonus, and the average tip is about $1 per trip on those short trips. So about $8 in tips in 8 trips. That's pretty reasonable. So I could have made $52 that way. Drove about 24 miles. And my profitability would have been $45.20. And that's about $22 an hour for 2 hours worth of time, from 5:45 to 7:45. So $22 an hour in profitability, just taking minimum fares. The worst, right? But Uber, in their gamification of everything, gives me a $25 surge. So instead of giving me a great trip, I just sit there and it's like, ugh. What would I have made? I would have made $51 in revenue or $42 in profitability over those 2 hours, because I would have only been able to take that one trip, and I would have made $24 an hour in profitability. So it's just like $42 in profitability versus $45 in profitability. It's like the short trips, option A, just ignore that surge and just go and take short trips. I know I could have made that. But getting a $25 surge did not equate to total profitability over that better profitability. It's just so frustrating. And then the third thing is what I actually did, which was the worst. The worst decision. I ended up taking 3 rides before my fare. They were all kind of shorties. I did not get a single tip. I made $16.93 in profitability, $19 in revenue, so $8.47 in profitability per hour. I just sat there parked, not getting a ride, and it cost me money. And I know we could talk about cherry picking versus short trips or whatever. A couple of lessons learned. I guess if you have a $25 surge, you better take the ride. Right? That's kind of one lesson. Another lesson is, you don't have to necessarily chase surges, because sometimes Uber will throttle you for whatever reason. And you're still going to end up with the same amount. And I have 2 hours to make money, and it's a game. That's the final lesson. Is you can't take it personal. I do take it personal, but I shouldn't. It's so frustrating. It's just frustrating. The gamification of rideshare. I don't know. What would you have done? Would you have done option A, and gone off and got, the minimum fares? Option B, take the $25 surge and chase it and take that one ride. Option C, what I did, which is wait for the surge, don't take it, and then take a bunch of crap rides and waste your time. I don't know. Frustrating. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you don't do the same things that I do, make mistakes. And I hope you drive your way for 2025. Be well, be safe, and know that I'm cheering for you.